What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. I wanted to give you a quick video to go over some of the updates that we have put out onto our website at thefantasyaddictionnetwork.com. Go over and show you guys we've added some sortable stats and some player comparison, team comparison, consistency charts. Just wanted to go over that for you guys and let you in on all the exciting things that we're doing at the Fantasy Addiction Network. But before we get into the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps grow the channel. I do appreciate your support. And anyway, let's get going into this video right away. Okay, so if you've been to the Fantasy Addiction Network before, welcome back. Thank you guys for signing up. If you haven't, just a reminder, it's absolutely free for this XFL season. Really just wanted to go in here and give you guys as much value as possible. I really like this league. I want to help grow it, and I think that fantasy is a great way of actually growing the league. So this is my way of contributing to the fantasy community, giving you guys some information if you are playing fantasy in the XFL, putting that out there for you guys, making sure that you're able to access all the same things that you would in the NFL. So on this first page, we have all the teams for the start sit. I haven't released the start sits for this week, but we have it by team. And then the main thing I wanted to show you guys that we've added, so compiling all the stats from the XFL's main website, you now have sortable stats. We can see who has the highest completion percentage, who has the most yards, who has the best quarterback rating, and you can sort it by team if you wanted to just see the defenders, how much they're imploding with Cardale Jones and 62.7 quarterback rating, or you can look at it by position, obviously passing stats, mostly quarterbacks. Also have it same thing for rushing statistics, yards, touchdowns, fumbles, carry percentage by the entire team or by the position. So we can see here by filtering for running backs, we can see that James Butler has the most carries of running backs for his team. Darius Victor and Devian Smith there in second and third. So only 5 players with more than 50% of their team's running back carries. Just cool little pieces of information that you can see there by being able to use these stats. There's probably way more things that you can do with that even I know how to deal with. I've been getting more and more accustomed to building stats into my analysis and rankings. I know that's the way to go in the world of analytics, so you guys might be able to come up with some pretty cool stuff with this information. So hit me up in the comment section if you think of anything else. Receivers here, same thing, target share or target share by position, so we can see that by filtering for the wide receivers, that Eli Rogers receives the most targets by position for any wide receiver there. So he receives 39% of the total targets for the receiver position. Austin Perlow and Keenan Reynolds seeing about 70% of the targets for the Dragons there for the receivers. Pretty interesting here. So that kind of helps give a little bit more information. If there's something here that you guys think is missing that I can actually add, I'm still updating and customizing this. So if you have any ideas, feel free to hit me up in the comment section, or you can actually reach out to me. My email is on my channel, so just go ahead and feel free to reach out. Always taking a new insight. Like I said, the whole point of this website is really to just build a community for the XFL. Wanted to make sure that we gave that information for you guys. Also have total team offense stats here. You can see which team has given up the most rush and pass yards, have average rush and pass yards, run and pass percentage. We can see here that the Roughnecks pass the ball the most, Battlehawks pass the ball the least, which obviously if you flip that around, it would just go around to say that the Battlehawks run the ball the most. And then you can also see team defense stats, which teams give up the most rush and pass yards, which teams give up the most or least touchdowns. You can see right now the Guardians are allowing the least touchdowns, whereas the Defenders are allowing the most. So those kind of things can help you in your fantasy analysis, and it's just kind of nice to know. Also have fantasy points scored for those of you doing season-long leads or DraftKings here. DraftKings, you can see based on PPR, half PPR, standard scoring, you can filter by position. So if we wanted to see who's the best running back in terms of points scored right now, you can see it by week or in total. We see Artis Payne and Dunbar still leading the way, but in week 4, we could see that Jacques Patrick and Devian Smith were the 1 and 2 running backs in PPR scoring. You can also filter it by team if you wanted to just see who was the best player in Seattle. So pretty interesting stuff that you can do here. Like I said, you do that for half PPR or standard scoring. And then the thing I really wanted to point out is our consistency charts. Kind of got this idea from the fantasy footballers. They do a heat map for the NFL. I wanted to do something similar for the XFL here. So based on PPR points scored, looking at the quarterback, which team allows the most points to the quarterback position week over week, we can see that the Roughnecks and the Renegades allow the most points to the quarterbacks, whereas the Wildcats and the Guardians allow the least. And then we can look at the same thing for running backs. Receivers, for the receivers, just based on the low usage of tight ends in the league, I added receivers and tight ends into the same analysis, and I want to show you a little bit more why I did that, because I also have a thing here by receiver type where you can actually see based on the overall depth chart allotment of the player that they're going against each week. You can see how each team has performed against that respective position. So if we wanted to see how did the Renegades do against receivers, we can see that they actually perform the best against the number one wide receiver. Anyone that starts Cam Phillips would have liked to know this information last week. Sorry, I didn't build this until this week, but we can see here that, the Renegades are actually really good at stopping the number one receiver, and they're actually pretty decent at stopping the tight end, but they're really bad at stopping the slot. They're the worst team against the slot position. So we would have known right there that Nick Hawley was going to be a better option since he typically dominates in the slot. So this kind of information is going to be pretty helpful for our rankings going forward. I'm using all this information to build my rankings, which I haven't posted my rankings yet for the week. Those normally go up on Wednesday, but as you can see, I have those here as well. I have a trade calculator for you guys, some trade tiers. If you're curious, if you're in a league where you're actually trying to trade players, you can see how I have everyone broken out in tiers like you would use for pre-draft. So everything here that you need to be able to maintain a season-long league, and then I also give daily fantasy value each week, just guys that I'm particularly targeting that week. But those are just some of the cool new things that we're doing at the Fantasy Addiction Network. Wanted to just share that with you guys. Like I said again, though, hit me up in the comment section if you have any ideas, thoughts, recommendations for other things that we can do into the website. If there's something that isn't working right, let me know as well. I'm really just trying to build this out. Again, just trying to get back to the community and eventually carry this over into the NFL for those of you that are interested in following me over there. What I'm really trying to do is build a website that gives you the quickest access to the information that is relevant to you. I know there's a lot of websites out there that give really good information. I use some of them myself, so not trying to directly compete with them. What I'm trying to do is take the most important information and give it in the quickest fashion, so that way if you only have 5, 10, 15 minutes to update your fantasy team each week, you know you can get that information in that time period very quickly. And I feel like that is the one thing that's missing that I found out there is a lot of information, but not a lot of quick pointed information that will actually get you to your answer. So that's really what we're trying to design here with our trade tools. Like, should I trade this guy for this guy? Well, plug it into the calculator and check it out real quick. Should I pick this guy up off of waiver wires? Look at the trade tier, see what his value is. Look at my waiver wire report. That's who I'm going after this week. Rankings, like obviously everyone has rankings, but aligning all these things together, if you have more time and you want to dig into the stats, it's there for you. But I just wanted to show you guys the process that I use to actually create my rankings by using these stats. It really helps to know, now that we have some more data points in the XFL, hey, who can we actually start to expect to play well against each team. So these are some of the cool things that we're doing. Again, like I said, for the XFL season, access to this website is free. So click that link in the description, make your free account, check it out. If you like it, great. If you don't, let me know what you didn't like about it. I'm always looking for ways to improve. We're still pretty new to this game, so I'm still adapting things. I've created something new every week. I keep thinking of different ideas that help me, because the way I view it is if it's helping me, it's probably helping you guys too. But I also don't want to go overboard, because like I said, a lot of the websites out there just give too much information and it becomes information overload. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. So if there's anything here that you think needs to be added, or anything here that you think is just too much, hit me up. Let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But thank you so much for checking this out. Really appreciate your guys' support. It's been an honor being able to work with you guys throughout this XFL season. It's been a ton of fun. I've been having getting a lot of enjoyment out of playing fantasy in the XFL, and I really hope that this community continues to grow and that the XFL continues to succeed, because I'd really love this to be a staple in the fantasy community going into the spring for years to come. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.